Yo, the Premier League is back. Oh man, I knew I wouldn't be able to contain myself. It's mad overwhelming, emotional, especially when match of the day come on. Yeah. Yep. Hi there guys, and welcome back to another episode of A Dash of Sports, episode 10. I'll be your host and presenter, Dashiki Dash, and on this show is where I talk all things sports related, hot topics and trending stories. And if you like the previous episodes, hey, you know what to do. Give us a like, comment and subscribe. And oh yeah, don't forget to share it. And on today's show, I'm going to be going all out with the Premier League, starting off with Aston Villa versus Sheffield United. I still can't believe what I saw during that game. Like, seriously, was the goal line tech and VAR still out on furlough or something? Because that decision was ridiculous. I can't wait to get into that. Moving on with Man City, are they still hopeful for the Premier League or have they gone all in now for the Champions League? And Arsenal. Arsenal. Are they still considered and classed as a big club now?
Yo, this is some silly questions, bro. Arsenal rubbish.
That's a big question in itself. And the magic man himself, Paul Pogba, finally made his long-awaited return after a lengthy layoff and coming on as an impactful sub to help earn a draw against Spurs. And how excited were the United fans to finally see Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes combine, which actually led to their equalising penalty. Do you think Roy Keane was right or wrong in his comments? There were mistakes, but did they warrant those kind of comments? I don't know. And with Liverpool's name already etched into the Premier League trophy, how are the Liverpool fans really feeling? How excited are they? Hey, we're about to find out, and more to be discussed on A Dash of Sports. Now, let me get straight into it. Goal line tech. The goal line tech. We've had it up to here with VAR, but not the goal line tech. Premier League football returned last week with the first game being played at Villa Park. And by the way, before I get into it, just a quick shout out to the players, the league itself and everybody that was involved with showing their appreciation to the NHS and also for the players taking a knee in protest for the Black Lives Matter movement. That was a great gesture and a great sign of solidarity in regards to the fight against racial injustice. But what followed was nothing short of controversy, and especially something you don't expect to see. The match ended in a 0-0 draw between Aston Villa and Sheffield United, but the Blades were left fuming after having a goal disallowed. If you see the way they disallowed this goal, like it's not even a disallowed goal. They didn't even acknowledge that the ball crossed the line. So the goalkeeper's caught the ball in the air and his momentum has obviously pushed him back a little bit. So he bumps into his defender and that sends him back into his goal. He's crossed the line, he's hanging onto the net, he's hanging onto the post, and the ball's basically between his chest and the post. Now if you can see clearly, as clear as day, the ball has crossed the line. The referee runs back, the players slightly contest. For me, I felt like the Sheffield United players didn't contest enough. I will be grabbing up the referee, like I would take a yellow, or if it's well, I don't know if I'll take a red, but I'll take a yellow card by stopping the referee, telling him, no, you've got to check VAR. The ball's clearly crossed the line and nothing's happened. The referee's gone running back, he's checking his watch, the watch hasn't gone off, which signifies that, you know, there's no goal. So if the watch buzzes, then it's a goal. If it doesn't, then there's no goal. But we can all see the ball has crossed the line. So what's happening here? Is the goal line technology working, or was there a fault? We don't know. They said that they did their test before the game, but this is shocking. So anyway, the referees carried on. There's about a minute, yeah, give or take, close to a minute gap and window where VAR now could have intervened. So where was VAR? Where was VAR? Now this is shocking because the whole point of the VAR system, the video assistant referee, is to help with decisions like this. Now, in football, there's one thing that I've always said, that the goal is the most definitive thing in football. You need to have technology for that. How was VAR not able to stop the game and call it back and give the right decision? Now, it's difficult to blame an experienced referee like Mike Oliver, which at first I thought to myself, surely you're an experienced ref. You'd think to yourself, okay, let me just stop the game just to verify or check. But because from the time the buzzer doesn't go off on the watch, they're so reliant on the technology that has been foolproof up until this point. If the buzzer doesn't go, it's no go. So he had to go with that decision because, like I said, it's never happened before. But there's just a part of me that just wants me to think like, come on, referees. What about the linesman? What was the linesman doing? Like, you can't see that the ball's crossed the line? Because he was right by the byline. Now, the league of referees have come forward. They've wholeheartedly apologized for the injustice, the wrongdoing, the wrong decision that occurred. They apologized to Sheffield United. But these things are crucial. Like I said, a goal is the most definitive thing in football. There is no ifs or buts. There's no grey areas, and an apology will not cut it, unfortunately. But Hawkeye, who have and run the technology for Goal Line Tech, did apologize also, and basically just explained the way the ball was covered, if I'm not mistaken, the way the ball was covered by the goalkeeper between his chest and the goalpost. The cameras couldn't pick up the ball. Now, I always thought that there was a chip in the ball so that when the ball does cross the line, it's literally a system like that. But I didn't know it was just so reliant on the cameras. So it's just, yeah, it's actually shocking. The Premier League should not be, you're not expecting that in the Premier League. And what a way to start off Project Restart with just mad controversy. Like I said, we've had it up to here with VAR, and you're not expecting that with the goal line technology, but it happened. It happened. So let me know what you think. Do you think the referee should have stopped the game, even though that the buzzer didn't go off on his watch? I know that they rely on the buzzer and they rely on the technology, but do you think he should have used his intuition? The players were complaining. I don't think they were complaining enough though. But do you think he should have stopped the game? And do you think once the referees went in at half time and found out that it was a goal, do you think the referee should have awarded Sheffield United with that goal at half time? So many questions, but at the end of the day, the game is gone, long gone, and Sheffield United got bumped. Moving on to Manchester City, who played their game in hand, which was a game that was cancelled before the lockdown break, faced Arsenal at the Etihad, beating them 3-0. With goals from Raheem Sterling, who scored his first for 2020, which was actually contributed by an horrendous mistake by David Luiz. Literally, I don't know what he was thinking trying to clear the ball with his hips. He really thought he was Shakira about his hips don't lie. Listen, they definitely lied to him because I don't know what he was thinking about trying to clear it with his hips. But anyway, I'll get into that more later when I start talking about Arsenal. The second goal was scored by Kevin De Bruyne, who was actually the king of the match, man of the match, however you want to call it nowadays. But yet again, a mistake by David Luiz, who ended up pulling Mahrez in the box. It's debatable whether or not it was inside the box, outside the box. Either way, it was deemed inside the box. Penalty was given and a red card followed. Now, like I said, I'm going to give this special attention when I speak about Arsenal. Anyway, Kevin De Bruyne scored a penalty, a much deserved goal. Like I said, a man of the match performance in a game that literally he treated like it was a training session. In fact, the whole Man City team just treated like after the first maybe 10-15 minutes, 15 minutes, let's give Arsenal that 15 minutes, and then Man City just took complete control of the game and they just treated it like it was a training session. Now, as much as I want to carry on and talk about how Man City peppered Arsenal, I want to hold fire on that for a second. But I just wanted to ask a question. Man City, have they still got their eyes on the Premier League? They're not going to win it, are they? I think it's safe to say that Liverpool's got the Premier League. So are the players actually feeling that way as well? Is Pep feeling that way? Are they resigned to knowing that their league title is going to Liverpool? If so, have they now got their eyes firmly on the Champions League now? because the way they were playing, I think if they go up against anyone, they'll take them apart. They look electric out there. They look full of energy. Players weren't looking, you know, all the way tired. High energy, high press. Pep has got them guys playing. So I think they've got every chance for the Champions League. What do you think? Do you think they've got a chance in the Champions League? Can they make it to the final? Let me know what you think. It'd be kind of the reverse of last season, right? They've just swapped trophies. Liverpool didn't win the league last season, but they went to the Champions League final and got themselves a Champions League. Can we now see the reverse? Man City losing out on the title and then going to the Champions League final and getting themselves a Champions League. Now, Pep will love that. Despite what is going on, despite games being played behind closed doors, this is the new norm. We're going to have to accept it. Same way we're accepting the way Liverpool are going to win this league, rightfully so. It's the same way whoever becomes the Champions League champion at this point in time, it still counts. And Pep Guardiola wants that title. He hasn't won it since Barcelona, remember? So, what do you think of Man City? Do you think they got a chance? Let me know, man. Write your comments down below. So, straight out the gate with a question that I want to ask. In fact, it's a question that I've been asking throughout the whole week. And that's, is Arsenal still considered, are they still classed as a big club? Are they still classed as a big club now? Now, I definitely want you to get involved with this one. I want to read your comments down below because our opinions may differ on what we consider as a big club or a club that's small or whatever it is. So, for me personally, is Arsenal still considered a big club? Now, if we're talking about history, we're talking about trophies, well, few and far between, but there's trophies there. They're still going to be considered a big club, big stadium, still can attract players. But as of late, what I will say is they're not acting like a big club. That's just the way I see it. They're not acting like a big club. They haven't acted like a big club for a while now. Hence, we're seeing them in 9th, 10th position now. And it's literally a sinking ship. I watch Arsenal and I can just say same old Arsenal. Nothing is changed. I just purely believe that they just need some wholesale changes. They need wholesale changes. All these issues with contracts, yet again, the new guys that have come in, they said that there will be no more issues in regards to contracts. Players going down into their last 2 years, if they don't look to sign, then they'll be moved on and shipped out. I don't know how effective that would be. Players' contracts are just in a mess. The recruitment, now I've been saying this for a very long time, the recruitment, Arsenal's recruitment has been a shambles ever since the Invincibles. I don't think Arsenal's really had a real balanced team for a very long time. Season after season, all the problem areas do not get attended to. How long has Arsenal been screaming out for quality defenders? How long have Arsenal been screaming out for a defensive midfielder? You know, the likes of Kante, you know, someone in that kind of Makelele role. If you know, that shield to just protect the defense. The spine of the team has just never been there. It hasn't been there for a very long time. So there's so much going on. But at the end of the day as well, throughout the years, as much as we can blame, either we blame the manager, we can blame the board, the players on the pitch, the 11 players that walk across that line and go to play, they're the ones that have to really be looked at. You know, you really have to look at these players and say, you've just not been good enough for Arsenal. Now, the example that I'm going to give in regards to Arsenal not acting like a big club is the team selection itself. Going to the Etihad, going to face Man City, that's the opportunity, personally, I feel, is like you get to go head to head with rivals, in a sense, footballing rivals, in terms of the quality, in terms of the size of the clubs. Those are the times where you want to meet up and really face the best. You want the best versus the best. Your big guns versus your big guns, your big dogs versus your big dogs. Go into the Etihad and the team selection, wasn't really one that screams out big club. Now, a lot has to be done. A lot will need to be done between now and the transfer window, and also beyond, going into the next season. They're definitely going to need to identify key positions, get the players that are needed. Arsenal need to concentrate on key positions, not just going into the transfer window and just buying for buying's sake, or buying under pressure, or panic buying, which has been, there's been a lot of that at Arsenal. Hence why the players that we get are not the right players. So the recruitment needs to be stronger, it needs to be better. The board need to work harder. The owner really needs to make up his mind if he's really looking to make this club great again. Where does the club really want to be? Do they want to be a big club? Because at the present moment, they're not acting like a big club. But I must admit, man, when it comes to this Arsenal stuff, I've got some good friends though, man, because you know how the banter goes, especially when it comes to Arsenal, and the banter's just going left, right, and centre, especially in the WhatsApp group. So, you know, they're checking up on me, asking me if I'm okay. Like, listen, man, I'll be honest, man. I'm good. I'm not bothered. It is what it is. And yeah, man, just got to look to next season. Let's just see how it goes. But I wasn't bothered. I wasn't phased after the game. I was calm, collected, and yeah, man, we move. And moving on to Arsenal's arch nemesis and local rivals Tottenham Hotspur, who faced Manchester United at the new White Hart Lane Stadium, where we saw the returning Paul Pogba back to action for the first time since the 26th of December to win a late penalty that earned Manchester United a crucial point at Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Pogba, who had not played for almost 6 months because of an ankle injury that needed surgery, emerged as a second half substitute and demonstrated that he has the creativity to make a difference as United battle for a place in the top 4. You know who Paul Pogba reminds me of? You know when you was back in the days and you was in school, in the school playground or the school team, and you had that one player that was just better than the rest. When he steps on the pitch, it's almost like he didn't even really want to play, but once he stepped onto that playground, it was a wrap. He's just there twining everybody. And that's literally what Paul Pogba did when he came on. He sprayed one ball, like literally, it was like on a half volley, pinged it right to Rashford. If that was Rashford before his injury, he would have taken that, he would have scored. And then the penalty. What he did to Eric Dyer, he gave Eric Dyer the Ciara 1-2 step. How happy are you to see Paul Pogba back? How happy are you to see Bruno Fernandes and the Paul Pogba combination going on? This probably goes out to all United fans who seem highly excited by the prospect of these two real good footballers. So let me know, man. Put your comments down below. Let me know how excited you are and where you're going to be finishing this season. Now, despite the quality coming from midfield and the attacking positions for Manchester United, equally to that, there was some real shocking defensive work as well, with Harry Maguire getting skinned alive by Steven Bergwijn, who actually just went through the defence like a knife through butter, who struck an absolute thunderbolt, which De Gea should still be saving, and was highly criticised by none other than Roy Keane, who had some real strong words to say about De Gea and Harry Maguire. The former Manchester United captain Roy Keane said he's sick to death of David De Gea, and that the goalkeeper and captain Harry Maguire should be made to get a taxi from London back to Manchester. He went on to say that he wouldn't even let them on the bus after the match. That's how passionate he was with his rant on Sky Sports. He went on even as far as saying that he would have a punch-up with David De Gea over the mistake. Now, this is Roy Keane. Roy Keane is Roy Keane, and he's a straight shooter. He says it how it is, but at the same time, I've been saying this for a while, that I believe that certain pundits, maybe all pundits even, just say things for sound bites, you know, just to get that shock value, to be out there in the press. It boosts up their brand, it boosts up their opportunity to be on shows. They don't play no more, so they gotta be in the spotlight somehow. And I truly believe that Roy Keane is one of those guys. I know that he's a straight shooter, he says it how it is, he doesn't pull no punches, but Yeah, man, just over the top a little. Like, just tone it down. Not everyday beef, beef, beef. But what do you think? Is Roy Keane a hype man? Is he doing it for clout? What do you think, man? Write your comments down below. And who else is out there that's always doing this kind of thing as well? Because I think Souness is just as bad when it comes to Pogba. And they're all these pundits that I feel like they just go after sound bites. But let me know, man. Put your comments down below. Who's the worst pundit? Who goes over the top the most? Put your comments down below, man. Let me know. So I see that Liverpool have got their name engraved into the Premier League trophy. Now, I know how superstitious you Liverpool fan get, and you probably wouldn't want to see it, but I've got the footage. So, with that being said, I suggest you look away now. No one can deny that Liverpool don't deserve this title. In fact, the last 2 seasons, they've just been amazing, a cut above the rest. Missing out on a trophy last season by only a point, and then to just be storming the league this year, it's just been incredible. Well, I'm sure it's a kind of a bittersweet feeling for Liverpool after Sunday's game, after they were held by Everton in what I can best describe as a really lukewarm kind of derby, after almost taking the game late on. Liverpool are going to have to wait a little longer for their Premier League title celebrations after they were held to a 0-0 draw at Everton in a behind closed doors Merseyside derby on Sunday. And with 8 games remaining of the season, Liverpool need 5 more points to be sure of their first title of their Premier League era. Now, if you're not too sure about that trophy that I showed you with the name engraved in it, there's one thing that you need to be sure is Liverpool are going to be champions. There's no ifs and buts. It's just a matter of time and when they do it. And eventually you'll see them with the trophy aloft and they're celebrating their trophy, their first Premier League trophy within, what, for about 30 years or so. Hey man, I want to give them their early congratulations. And to all Liverpool fans, how excited are you, really? Now look, I've spoken to a couple of my friends who are, avid Liverpool fans, and even one in particular who's a die-hard Liverpool fan. And he just mentioned to me that, he's not all the way excited. The interruption of the coronavirus is kind of, has put a downer on things. Don't let them Liverpool fans fool you, Don't let them fool you. No. They're excited. Deep down, they're excited. But I understand, I understand the superstition and all of that. We're talking about the infamous Gerrard slip or losing the league by a point. So over the Premier League years, they've had to hold it down. But this time, it's going to happen. Lucky enough, we've even been able to continue on with the league so that it can be legit. No handing of titles, a legit title that's won with the remaining games left. And that's all I've said. As long as the games get played out and you accumulate the points and you finish off the league, then it's legit. If they were to hand that title to Liverpool, forever it would have been known as the Corona title. The Corona title. It's just one of those situations where you just got to get it how you get it and be happy with the fact that you're going to be champions. Now, as I've mentioned previously before, this is 2 seasons of incredible football by Liverpool. And you should have won it last season. You didn't. Now you've got the opportunity to win it now. So take it, man. Take it with both hands. With that being said, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. But before I go, I just want to mention and say, I think I was right. Yeah, I think I was right. I think I was right in mentioning the fact that, watching these games behind closed doors will be much better when it's your team or the league that you're most used to. I was watching the Bundesliga, and as much as I enjoyed the football, I just didn't get a connection with the league, the teams, the players. But when it's the Premier League and it's something that you're used to and the excitement is there, I know we're playing behind closed doors, but the broadcasting has been on point in regards to, having the crowd noises. And also, you got to big up the stadiums as well, the teams with their stadiums and how they've covered the seats. So the eyesore of the empty seats is just not there in the background. So that's really been a good touch. And all in all, there've been some decent games as well. There've been some really good goals, some decent games. So all in all, for me personally, it's a thumbs up. So if anybody, disagrees or you got another you see it differently, put your comments down below. Let me know how you've been feeling about the Premier League restart and the first round of games. Thanks for watching another episode of A Dash of Sports. I truly appreciate your love and support. And if you need further information about future episodes or just your day-to-day sporting updates, please head over to my Instagram page, and I'm also on Twitter, which is A Dash of Sports. A Dash of Sports, I'll put it down below here, and I'll also put it in my description. And also, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I truly do appreciate it, and also it does help me to continue this and give you the best content I can. With that being said, until the next time on A Dash of Sports, peace.